the man, the myth, the old man of the mountain. This video has been a long time coming, considering I said I was gonna remake it a long time ago since the original videos were pretty bad. And this video isn't going to have much power scaling in it, as I've already gone over power scaling for Fate in the multitude of Fate videos I've made. Plus, there's two really good Fate power scales done by Seth the Programmer and Toaster XD, so I highly recommend checking them out as well. I won't bore you all with a history lesson on who Hassan actually is, as there's plenty of lore videos on Hassan out there, but in short, Hassan was a religious and military leader, founder of the Nizari Ismaili, or however that's pronounced, and it was a sector widely known as the Hashashin, or the Order of Assassins. In this video, we'll be going over Hassan's arsenal and abilities and show you how strong he is without too much power scaling. Now, Hassan is of the Assassin class, or the Grand Assassin. While he did relinquish the title in Grand Order, there are a few sources which point to the buff he gets from being a Grand Servant to be not an insane buff or debuff when he loses it. I do believe he gets the Grand status back in the arcade version of Grand Order, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. The bread and butter of any Assassin class servant is a skill called Presence Concealment, and it's the ability to hide one's presence, which is pretty self-explanatory. Hassan possesses it at an A rank. His concealment allows him to completely erase his presence and can even vanish when you are looking right at him. Although he is revealed when he attacks due to a curse. It fills a target with an immense sense of fear and impending doom. He's so proficient in this skill that he can sneak up on people like Ozymandias in his own temple and cut his head off before he could react. Ozzy calling his assassination skills godlike, while also stating he could barely react before Hassan disappeared into the shadows. And most, if not all, servants are able to sense your magical energy, your spirit, but Ozzy could not sense Hassan. In Fate Strange Fake, he becomes one with the world itself at an EX rank, but when he attacks, it is reduced to A+, which is already higher than his base concealment. He possesses many other skills other than just concealment. He possesses a high level of magic resistance, which nullifies lower magic, and even higher tier sorcery or ceremonial type spells have a reduced effect on him. With straight willpower, he has the skill Independent Action, which basically allows him to stay manifested when he is cut off from a magical supply. One of his more broken abilities is At the Boundary. This skill allows even the most basic of attacks to carry the trait Instant Death, which it is described as able to kill any target no matter how formidable. It also grants him an immunity to instant death attacks similar to an ability like Grasp Heart from Overlord, as well as a resistance to anything that charms, giving him the ability to just go, "Be gone, fuck!" He also gains a resistance to fear hacks with this ability. Hassan is also extremely tough. He has a lot of skills based around his willpower and faith, as he is an extremely devout follower of Allah, and the EX battle continuation is certainly a good one. It allows him to survive any physical attack as long as it is not a definitive fatal blow. Even on the brink of death or with any physical injury, he can fight at 100% even with the most fatal of wounds. The skill was upgraded in Grand Order to Abyss of Death, but nothing changed too much. He has more skills which will be on the screen, such as Evening Bell, which is sort of a fear hacks type ability, and even a skill which hides his abilities from being seen and displays them at a lower rank than what they'd typically be, so you can pause the screen if you wish to read them. His Phantasm is really just him slicing an MF with his sword, which is imbued with the faith he carried in life. Those that die to this experience fear, but no pain, no suffering either. Just repentance with no regret. The combination of his faith, Phantasm, and the little quirk he has for walking in the Valley of the Shadow of Death, or the Boundary, grant him an absolutely whack ability. That being to quite literally force the concept of death onto someone. He uses this ability in Babylonia to force the concept of death onto Tiamat. Tiamat is a god that is immune to death via existing all throughout time and can even cancel out attacks which cause paradoxes. Dr. Roman in Babylonia saying Tiamat's inborn nature is to never experience death no matter what she does. Death will never find her. This could imply that she lacks a concept of death, but that may be a little over the top. Tiamat's weight even being unquantifiable, as the black mud of the Grail, which she wields, is considered to be a part of herself, which has conceptual properties, and is said to be made of imaginary mass or numbers in the Fate Go material books. It's not like Hassan instantly one-shots her, but forces the concept of death upon her so that she can die, giving Fujimaru the ability to defeat her with the help of a dagger from Gilgamesh. After performing this feat and renouncing his grand status, he proceeds to effortlessly defeat a bunch of Tiamat's Lamu, which are compared to demon god pillars. Demon god pillars being higher dimensional concepts. Earlier in Babylonia, he even severs the bond between Erish-Cargill and the Three Goddess Alliance, which you could argue is Hassan cutting/killing an abstract concept. It's not just this that grants Hassan some of the sweet higher tier scaling. As we see, Hassan is directly stated to be on the level or stronger than the Lion King within Camelot. The Lion King just being Artoria but wielding Rongominiad. This was said by Ozymandias, who states that he is just as cautious of Hassan as he is the Lion King. Gawain also states that Hassan's power rivals the Lion King, him following up with that Hassan could defeat the Lion King if he wanted to. This is no small feat, as the Lion King is very powerful. She's so powerful that her magic energy was causing a space-time fracture that was going to lead to a gravitational collapse from all corners of the era. Lancer Artoria being compared to a divine spirit on her own, which divine spirits and gods are higher dimensional concepts as well. Rongominiad being stated by Bedivere to have the same light as Excalibur. With these interpretations, Hassan can be scaled to the likes of normal Artoria, who scales to the Mooncell plus level opponents, and so on. We have another instance in Camelot where he fights Gawain for over an hour, which Gawain states he is second to the Lion King and is invincible under the sun. Hassan even blocking strikes when he is bathed in sunlight. Hassan utterly toying with him by pushing his attacks away with a cloak and hitting him with some domain expansion type ability, which forces him to face his regrets and such, as we see in the anime, with Gawain being forced to see the atrocities he committed in the name of the Lion King. Going back to Ozzy, who fears Hassan similarly to the Lion King, doubts he could fight Hassan, as if he wasn't in his temple, Hassan would have killed him. His temple being able to supply him with an infinite amount of magic energy. Ozzy in the mobile game could transform into a demon god pillar with the highest level of divinity as said by Da Vinci. She also states it is the level of a true divine spirit, which I've gone over many times in the past as being higher dimensional concepts. This accumulated to Ozzy being invincible in his own temple, but likely still couldn't defeat Hassan. This pillar being implied to not be his best. Going back to Babylonia, we see Hassan perform an interesting feat against Tiamat. Tiamat has an ability called Nega Genesis, which is a conceptual bounded field that nullifies all noble phantasms and can rewrite/recreate a new universe. It's a whole bunch of yapping on my end to explain the Nega Genesis in detail, so feel free to read the scans posted. Hassan being able to walk within this barrier, which needs to be blocked by Mash and Merlin. He walks through this barrier, killing Lamu with his own bare hands. And teeth. A fun fact about Hassan is that he actually has a few things in common with Merlin, as they share a similarity which is said in Hassan's material book pages, as who continues to traverse the boundary between life and death alongside Merlin, unable to vanish until the extinction of humanity. Hence, there seems to be some connection between them. I just learned that as I was translating Hassan's material book section for this video, so I thought I'd share that. That's basically all of what I can speak on for Hassan. There is a few other skills, abilities, and feats performed within Strange Fake, as he is listed as true assassin within the manga, but all I really have for sources and such on this is wiki pages with vague screenshots and statements. So until I can find some more solid information on it, this is where the video ends. Definitely shorter than a bunch of my other videos, but as I mentioned at the start of the video, I've scaled a lot of Fate already, and there are other good scales out there, so y'all can check all that out, where you can learn more information about servants having conceptual attacks, spiritual attacks, and just stuff that servants share in general. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.